anyways, meaning that this is something that you want to keep the guest updated on, whether they're, occupied and you've got this marked as high priority, or if it's just something that they're like, please update me on this. I get home at 3 o'clock. I want to be updated, yada, yada. Okay, we need to keep you updated. So let me assign myself, and then I can monitor the breezeway tasks over here. So with that being said, you're going to create this task. You're going to create that task. It's going to come up here and say, hey, task created. You're going to click view details. And in the comments, you're going to comment at DJ, at Dawn. We do or do not have permission to enter. Hey, I'm working on permission to enter. If you don't put permission to enter, he's going to call you and say, hey, do I have permission to enter? What's going on here? So it's just going to save everyone a lot of headache. And doing it in the comments like that, not doing it here in the description, is the only way that we can have a date set on it. So if you do decide, hey, it's easier for me to do this in the description, you're gonna need to start putting a date right here. Like if you decide, hey, I want to start putting in the description, permission to enter per the guest anytime on Monday. I put this on 7/3, it's July 3rd. So that's gonna be the information you want to have here. You never just want to do permission to enter. The DJ is going to read that and be like, permission to enter what, when, where, how? Do I have permission to go in at 5 a.m.? Let's be respectful to the guests and kind of get a time frame for them that works. Usually I will say, do we have permission to enter anytime today if this is something we can get out to? And like I said, a lot of the templates already have that built in. So you're going to be getting that feedback from the guests. But you always, 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 always have to make sure that you have permission to enter before we send anybody out. If they are opening that door to get into the home, if they are cracking the threshold of the home, we need permission to enter in the chat so that we can go back and say, hey, you gave us permission to enter. We didn't just enter your reservation without you knowing, basically. So this breezeway is going to do a lot of things here. So this is 409 Holland. Over here I can click on calendar and see exactly what's going on today. So if I have a guest and they're like, hey, the dishwasher's not working, right? This is Christine. She's like, hey, on Friday, the dishwasher's not working. What's going on? I'm like, oh, okay. Back here on Tuesday when we had a different guest, the dishwasher wasn't working either, and we didn't have much information. Okay, let me try and get some more information out of this guest. Hopefully we can diagnose it from the information she gives us. I'll create a new task and say, hey, this is a problem again. And DJ is going to be like, okay, now we have more information. Do we need to order a part? How do I need to answer guest relations? So that's going to be a good way to see like what's been going on within the month or the last month or the month before. If it's a reoccurring problem, things like that, you can help diagnose things from there. But you don't ever want to tell the guest, oh yeah, we knew about this last week and we never got out to it, which probably isn't true. We probably have, and I believe we do, a part on order for this dishwasher because we already went out and saw it. But yeah, this is where all maintenance tasks, all internal communication happens. So anything that property needs, it's right here. Another good thing about this calendar is if somebody inquires and they are like, hey, we are really wondering, it's very important to us if this property has a grill or not, right? And then your first order is going to be to go to the cheat sheet, right? And then you're going to find 409 Holland, and it does happen to say we do have a grill here, which I'm filling this out, so this should get better. But let's say it didn't say anything here under grill, and you're like, oh my God, how do I figure out if this has a grill or not? Obviously, I don't know the area. Right here, boom, some kind of maintenance task for a grill cover, right? So we can conclude that there is a grill at the property, so we can help out guests without having to go ask a million people who may or may not know in the company. We can just kind of decide that because there's tasks in here to fix the grill, or put a new grill cover. So that's a positive, is that you have some information here that you can try and help pull from. Now, you can't always do that. Maybe there's not something in here about a grill, and then you have to ask everyone. So that's kind of the nice things about Breezeway to do with maintenance requests. And I was trying to see over here underneath tasks, and I believe this is easier to see on your phone. So yeah, my tasks. Let's see. All tasks, I apologize. This is going to be everything that's been created today. So like I hopped on at like 8:30 this morning and I started creating. So now I can kind of go back here and be like, okay, I created this today, this today. These weren't me, but it's still, you know, nice to know like, hey, this August device is offline. That's probably something I need to address today. So this is where you can go back and be like, did I create a breezeway for that? Did that actually go into effect? So right here, it's going to have everything that you created, completed, not completed, on the date. So you can go back to yesterday if somebody's asking you a question as well. If you are adding a breezeway task in here, in your phone on the app, the easiest way to do so is this little plus sign at the bottom. You type in the property that you want to add it to, and then it comes up with the same kind of form to fill out right here. All your information, schedule, and then it's actually easier to comment the permission to enter on this as well. So that is how you do it on your app. The only difference between Breezeway on your computer and on your app is that you don't have this button right here called Devices. On Breezeway on your laptop, you can go into any device and it works much quicker than August to lock and unlock devices. Now, I have another video about that should you want to look more into this or see history of a lock. That's going to be easier to see on here than your August app. You don't have that option on the app. So if you are out and about, let's say you're at the grocery store, you are going to have to go in and use August to unlock or lock a guest's door. That's why I kind of recommend if you go out to the grocery store or something, bring your laptop. You can always take a pause, connect to the Wi-Fi, and take a look at this if there was an urgent situation. This is just not going to load very easily for you, is the only problem. So same thing if you have a guest that is locked out and you can't get to your laptop, let's say your laptop's dead, this would be where you would usually like create their access code or make sure that it's working. But you can also always go into a property in here, click on people, and invite them to the lock. When you go down to access, it'll say invite somebody, you'll put in their information, then click entry code only, not app access, because we no longer work with the app for our guests.